Hi, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Heather, and I am so excited because I have a very special guest with us today. Today, I'm going to be interviewing my very dear friend for a very long time, Taj, and we're going to be doing a bit of a deep dive into the world of high performance coaching. Taj is a fellow coach and in a different realm. And I'm going to hand the floor over to you, actually, Taj. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and what drew you into coaching.
Yeah, hi everyone. It's so good to be here. So as Heather said, my name's Taj, he, him pronouns. I became a coach in 2021 after working for a series of like more traditional, like 9 to 5 jobs, and realizing that I wasn't quite having the impact that I knew I could have, and I wasn't able to focus my attention on the things that I felt like mattered, which were like the people in our programs, the people who were showing up, the people who were in front of me, and making sure that they had what they needed to succeed. So, 2021, I struck out on my own, started coaching, and have been doing that ever since, in some fashion. Um, yeah, it's been quite a ride and hard at times, but I love it. Love it.
I love that. Yeah, I so agree with you. There's just something about the impact that you can make with someone and just helping them reach their full potential and really seeing something in them and then just helping to pull that out of them or unpeel the onion layers to really help them thrive is just so fulfilling. I love that.
Yeah. And those moments where the switch clicks and you can see their face light up and it's like, oh, oh. And I like in those moments, just like everything that they do after that, they won't do it in the same way. They're going to approach it differently. They have a different outlook. Like it's those moments, that I really treasure. And I also know in those moments that my clients are then going to share what they've learned with other people. They're going to like so like there's a ripple effect, right?
Yes.
Like
Oh my gosh, I just was thinking those exact same words, the ripple effect. Yes.
yeah, like it doesn't just stop with me and my client. It radiates out and it's so beautiful to see.
I love what you said. It doesn't just stop with me and my clients. And what I love about that is that I totally agree with you. It's that ripple effect of it's not just this one person you're coaching. You're coaching them as all the roles that they're in, as a son or daughter, as a partner, maybe as a parent, maybe as a guardian, as a pet owner, as, what all these roles that we play in society. And they're going to approach life differently in a more positive and healthy way because of the impact that you gave them in coaching. Just love that.
Right, right,
So powerful.
exactly.
In your experience, what would you say are the biggest obstacles that people face when trying to reach a higher performance or maybe just a higher potential?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I work with folks who are social change makers, so like activists, DEI leaders, nonprofit professionals, and just folks who are trying to move the needle for change and liberation, like across different industries. And folks who are doing that work and are burning out. Specialize in working with folks in burnout. And I think one of the biggest obstacles that I see for people in this is just like feeling like their work doesn't matter. Feeling like no matter how much they push and push and push, that there's no return on it. They're not seeing results. That their energy and time are being diverted away from the tasks that are important and that should be the highest priority. They're being diverted away to like more admin type tasks and the they spend their heads in the weeds. They spend their time in the weeds than like
Yeah.
looking at the big picture. Um, so yeah, when that starts to happen, I notice when when people come to me, they're in a place of really like feeling frustrated and like really wanting to break out of that like situation, that environment, like whatever it is that's making them uh that's keeping them and their talent like
Mm.
sequestered in like some small area of what they're actually capable of.
Yeah. Yeah. And you had said, when you notice that someone is just kind of like spending time in the weeds, they're just stuck in that little tiny spot and they're having a hard time seeing that bigger picture. What would you say that that means, or what would that look like for a person to be stuck from an outside perspective looking in? What kind of things go on for a person who's just stuck in the weeds?
Yeah, so just kind of things go on for a person just stuck in the weeds. Um, I think some of the biggest ones are just like the never-ending to-do list and spending way too much time or like spending a good chunk of their day just in their email inbox.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, the never-ending onslaught of emails and messages to reply to and then also just like the feeling like they start to feel like lethargic. They feel like tired all the time. They get the fatigue, they get irritable and like feel like the tiniest little things just kind of like set them off, set them on edge.
Mm.
Um and then there's a real like hopelessness and despair that starts to set in. Um because then they start to feel like uh nothing will change. Like everything that they've done to try to change it, maybe they've talked to a supervisor or a manager, they've done what they can to like shift their day so they can have time to work on their highest priority projects, but then those that time gets scheduled over with meetings and um all this other stuff, so they feel like nothing's going to be different. um, and so when they come to me, they're in a place of like, they know something can be different. They don't know how.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they need help like getting there.
Yeah. So, and you mentioned something like you're spending so much time in your email inbox or spending time with messages, and it's taking away then from their priorities and their agendas and trying to move the needle on the things that they need to because they're spending so much time on other people's agendas. And just by answering emails or the little fires that come up because an email was sent and oh, here's a new deadline or here's something else that I gotta drop everything and deal with because this email came through. What advice would you give to someone who feels like they are compelled to answer all the emails and messages promptly?
I'm going to answer this in the form of a story.
Ooh, I love stories.
So, in my first round of community college, I learned to juggle. Um, and I find it interesting that so many metaphors around productivity are about juggling, because the first thing I learned in juggling was how to let the balls hit the ground in a way so that I could tell which ones I would be able to like catch easily.
Nice.
Um, the first few minutes, like I spent trying to catch these balls, and the guy teaching me was just like, "You're trying to catch the balls as they fall. Stop doing that. Let them fall."
Ooh, that's so powerful.
He's let them fall. Like, and if you watch jugglers who are like really good jugglers, it's easy, right?
Right.
There's a rhythm to it. They know exactly like where each thing they're juggling is going to be. So like my advice is to stop doing that.
Yeah. Let them fall. Let them hit the ground.
Yeah, of course, there are going to be things that you do absolutely have to reply to, and those if you're having a hard time sorting through those things, I tend to keep like a few different folders on my inbox that I like will sort messages into. So like messages that require a response, I put that in a review folder that I like return to at the end of the day or like towards the end of the day. I try to check email maybe like 3 times a day. I
Nice.
limit myself to that 3 times a day, 30 minutes.
I love that. That's such a good time frame. And then it doesn't pull away from the other things that you need to do while also still kind of maintaining your inbox.
Yeah, exactly. And learning the best ways to like graciously decline.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
love a gracious decline and a and also just like being able to uh like m being able to say like I don't know, I will follow up with you.
Yeah. Oh, so much power in that.
Yeah. So, I mean, for so many people, like they just need a response. They don't necessarily need the answer. They just need a response.
Ooh, say that one more time. That was so good what you just said.
It's like, yeah, people don't necessarily need the answer. They just need a response.
Yeah, they just need to know that you got the message and you're working on it. Because, and I've definitely been there too, where I've sent an email or a message or a phone call even, and I'm waiting for the other person to respond. And I'm like, what? Did they get it? Did they listen to it? Where are they with it? And, it's so helpful when someone just says, hey, I'm super busy right now, or I'm in between meetings, or I had this thing come up. I'm looking at it and I'll get back to you. Great, awesome. That's all I need to know. It's that little bit of communication I feel like goes a long way.
Yes. Yes. Communication is like everything. It's everything in this work, in social change work especially. Like you have to be able to say like, "Oh yeah, I saw this, I got it. I will let you know." Uh, and then give them a time frame if you can.
Mhm.
But if you can't, also like let them know that like maybe if it's a task that requires immediate attention, you might not be the best person for that, um, and
Right.
being able to admit that and be able to say like if this is an immediate thing, you might think about tapping somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's such a good way to delegate and maybe just tag someone else in that might not be dealing with the volume or level of things that you are. That's what that teamwork comes in.
Right, right, right.
You had mentioned, I love the word graciously declined. For someone who's listening to this or watching this and they have no idea what that means in the terms of they've never practiced that before, do you have an example for us that you could share?
Sure. So my the template that I usually share with my clients goes something like, I appreciate your faith and your trust in me and for handling this project. Right now, uh, I'm working on this project and this project and this project, and these were the priorities that I have been told that I should. These are the priorities that I've been told to prioritize. Um, if you would like me to work on this, can we work together with my manager to figure out which of these things I should deprioritize to pick this up, or maybe I can recommend that you reach out to this person on this team to like pick this up. If I'm unable to do it.
Oh, that's just so beautiful. What's so helpful and amazing about that is that it gives you the power to say no, which is okay. We don't have to do all the things for all the people, even though I know there's so many of us that want to, and there's so many of us that we love to serve, right? And I know that you're one of them that you love to help people, and yet we can't help and save everyone. And that's okay. It's all right to delegate and to tag team someone else in that maybe has a little bit more energy and time for XYZ task. And that way you're not burning yourself out.
Exactly. It's about capacity. And it's
Yeah.
about like knowing what your capacity is, like what your capacity actually is, not what you want it to be and not
Ooh,
what you
that's
think
good.
it should be, but like what it actually is. Because I find that especially like high performers, like we tend to think that our capacity is so much more than what it actually is. And we want it to be so much more than what it actually is. But like performing outside of our capacity, like so often and like repeatedly, um, that's the fast track to burnout.
Yeah, yeah. So, and just trying to take a measurement or even just thinking about what is your actual capacity, what can you handle? I find for me, it includes taking breaks more often than I think that I need to. For a long time, I was just used to that go, 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 go. But yeah, it leads to burnout. And then, your neck is hurting and your eyes are strained because you've been staring at the computer for so long and you have no energy to do anything else for anyone else, including yourself. So I find that knowing your own personal capacity is so powerful. And I love what you said that knowing what it actually is, not what you want it to be.
Yeah, mirrors, it can be hard to look in the mirror sometimes, but
Yeah. Yeah,
like, we all have to do it.
absolutely. What role would you say that self-care plays in just high performance in general?
I would say that it's a huge it's a necessity. Um, it's not an option. Like you have to take care of yourself if you want to be a high performer, because if you're not taking care of yourself, that's going to show up in everything that you do. Um, and if you're not showing up for yourself, you won't be able to show up for your clients. You won't be able to show up for your kids, your pets, your friends, your family, like whoever else is there that you need to show up for. So like I always say, it's the kind of thing where you like put your oxygen mask on before helping others. Um, yeah, make sure you're eating enough. Make sure you're eating enough food, and that like make sure you're eating nutritious food. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Make sure you're like, I'm not gonna say exercising. I'm gonna say like moving your body in a way that like that feels restorative and that feels like rejuvenating to you, like um and like connect to the things that you love. Like I can't tell you how many times I have talked to adults, like not just clients, but just like adults in my circle who, when I ask them like, so what do you do for fun? And they just go blank. And then they start talking about like a project at work, and I'm like, no, but I asked you about like what you do for fun.
Right. The hobby part.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what do you like hobbies? Like, do you play outside? Like, what do you do for yourself? And just so many people don't have that answer, and like, it can be scary to like dive into that world and to like reconnect with that like younger part of yourself that like
Mhm.
really like loves play and loves and like has a whole bunch of things that they love to do, but
Mhm.
like as we grow up, those things we're conditioned out of those things and conditioned to like think of those things as childish. So like to reconnect with that can be really, really hard for a lot of folks. Totally understand that. And it's like it's so necessary um for every aspect of life.
Yeah, 100%. I am such a big proponent of just having fun and doing things that you enjoy. So, with that, what do you love to do for fun?
I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons.
Nice.
um, like I'm in three different campaigns. I think I'm down to two now. I'm in two campaigns, and then I play a couple other like one shot tabletop role play games. Um, and to that I play music. I've been a guitar player and a singer for most of my life. And
I can attest to that.
yeah, and I still do it. I still love it. It's my first love, and it will always continue to be the thing that fills me. And I know like my barometer for like whether or not I am in like whether or not I'm like headed towards burnout is like when was the last time I touched my guitar?
Ooh, nice.
And if I haven't touched it that week, then I at least need to touch it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just 5 minutes, 2 minutes, even. Most
Yeah.
of the time, 2 minutes turns into much longer.
Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And sometimes it doesn't. And that's okay. It's just like remembering that I have this skill that is completely unrelated to anything that I do professionally. It is completely unrelated to any of the ways that I make money. And something that I do it purely for the sake of enjoying doing it.
Oh man. And if we all took a page out of your book for even just that, that's it right there. Just do things because you love doing it, because it brings you joy and it just lights you up like a Christmas tree inside and makes you feel all warm and excited. And I feel like there's so many of us that forget to do that, or along the way all these other priorities, all these other balls that we're juggling in the air kind of took the priority of us just having fun and doing things just for the sake of joy.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's for the sake of joy. Like you don't have to be good at it.
Yep.
Like give yourself permission to be bad at it.
Oh, I
Like
love that. Give yourself permission to be bad at it. Yes.
like I like to draw. I'm really bad at drawing, but I love it. I'm over here regularly making bad art and it's wonderful.
I love that. So what would you say to someone who maybe is just feeling a little stuck? Like they're feeling the burnout, they're feeling the pressure of the email box, and you're telling them just go out and have fun. What's a good place to start to even find something that they enjoy doing?
I mean, the first place I always go back to is music. Like everyone has that's that song, you know?
Mm, yeah,
Um, like that song that you can't help but dance to, that song that like just brings you back to a time where like maybe things might have been a little easier or um it's just that song that just makes you feel good. Like just put that song on and dance or sing at the top of your lungs. Uh just for the duration of that song, 2, 3 minutes. Just start there.
that's such a good starting point too, because sometimes that's all you need, just 2, 3 minutes to just let loose and have fun and let that creative expression, that internal that's sometimes we bury inside of us, let that out.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, the world needs more, like, the world needs all of us to be, like, really keyed in to um, our creative, our creative genius, right? Like
Mm,
that creative spark. Um, Without that, like, we can't imagine futures,
yeah.
let alone futures beyond what exists now. Um, I guess that's another way that I do it. I read a lot of science fiction, fantasy, just anything that's going to take me out of the world that I live in. It's also playing
Yeah.
D&D, um, because that, like, being in those places, that helps me realize, like, oh, this is something that I can imagine. I do have the power of imagination, and like us in this little small container are creating a little world where our characters are interacting and like creating their own like thing. So like if I expand that out, I'm like, okay, I am one person with a bunch of other people. We all have imaginations. We're all participating in our own little world. Like we get to shape that. We get to create that.
Yeah.
And like we get to decide how we want to like be in relationship with each other. We get to decide how we want to uh uh yeah, be in relationship with each other, be in relationship with the land, like and usually when we're all thinking about it together, like we can come to some form of agreement that like for what that looks like for our people.
Yeah. Yeah. I love what you said that, we get to decide. And there's so much power in that I think that people forget, me included sometimes, because we get so bogged down on the rules and what we should do and what we have to do and the obligations. And the truth of the matter is that we're the ones that created those rules for ourselves. And then we feel bound to them. But the truth is, you are so right. We get to decide. We get to write our own story. We get to decide what the next chapter is going to be and what that looks like in our life.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. All of these systems we live in were created by humans, so humans can change them.
Absolutely. Oh, there's so much power in that. I fully agree with and support that.
Yeah.
Oh, Taj, it has been amazing talking with you. I wish that we could keep going along forever and ever. But where can people find you? How can people get in touch with you if they heard something and they're like, I need to get in touch with Taj?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, slash Taj M. Smith. Um, or you can find me at www.rootedrespite.com. It's my website. The coaching company is called Rooted Respite. And yeah, we help social change makers beat burnout.
I love that. And I'll make sure to put those all the tags in the website and everything in the description so that people can just click right on it.
Brad, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Taj. So appreciate you for everything that you're doing, just for taking this time to talk with me, and just everything that you're doing to make some positive change in the world.
Thank you. And likewise, I was so excited to do this when you talked to me about it. I was like, oh, of course. Um, so it's great to be out here making change with folks like you are who see the vision and know it can be different and better. So
Yeah, that's it right there. That is exactly it right there.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much and take care, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Amazing information from my good friend. Here are my top 3 takeaways in my conversation with Taj. Number 1, know what to look for. Signs of being stuck may include if you're feeling stuck in your work, experiencing an overwhelming to-do list, feeling things like fatigue, irritability, hopelessness, feeling trapped in your current situation and unsure how to break free. You may be experiencing signs of burnout. Number 2, embracing creativity. Here's where Taj shares that you can start working on your feelings of burnout by embracing creativity. This helps you to reconnect with your creative side and give you the power of imagination back in your life. You can start small and engage in creative activities like playing music or games or anything that just fosters joy and help you to envision a better future. Last takeaway, number 3, self-care is a necessity. It is essential for our well-being and high performance. It is not optional. Self-care is vital for sustaining energy and effectiveness in both our personal and our professional realms. So do the things you need to take care of yourself so that you can better show up for other people. Remember, it all starts with you.